Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going deep today, really deep into big store and location fraud.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it kind of hits close to home for everyone, right?
Yeah, Flair.
Whether you're a seasoned online shopper
Right.
or just starting out,
Mm-hmm.
we've got excerpts and
Right.
research, all sorts of stuff, all about how scammers are using familiar names and places, big
Yeah.
names that we trust to set these really elaborate traps.
It's all about trust, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you see a big name, a familiar logo, and your brain just automatically goes, oh, okay, this is safe. I don't have to worry.
Right, it's like a shortcut.
Exactly. And that's what these con artists are banking on.
Yeah, that's what's so unsettling about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay, let's get into this.
Okay.
One of the things that I was really curious about in the research was they mentioned this fake bank in China that operated for over a year.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
A whole year. Like,
And that's why-
how
how is that even possible?
It's fascinating because it wasn't just like a little storefront. They went all out.
Yeah, they hired tellers. They printed fake bank statements. They even had security guards.
Wow.
It was a complete illusion of legitimacy, and it worked because people believe what they see, especially when it comes to something like a bank.
Right. You don't expect to walk into a bank and have it be fake.
Exactly.
So it's like, even if something seems a little off, we tend to convince ourselves.
Right.
Oh, it's probably fine,
It's a big name. It's a real bank.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's so important to be aware of these techniques that these scammers are using, both online and in the real world.
Okay, so let's start with those fake e-commerce stores
Oh, yeah.
because that's something that everyone's using these days. And the research mentioned that they're getting really sophisticated.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So is it more than just a misspelled URL these days?
Absolutely. I mean, a misspelled URL is still a classic,
Right.
but they're mimicking website layouts,
Yeah.
stealing logos, even using professional product photos to make it look like the real deal.
So they're upping their game, basically.
Yeah.
So how can we spot these like really well-disguised fakes?
Well, one trick is to really look closely at the website design. Legitimate businesses put a lot of effort and money into their online presence.
Right.
So if you see a poorly designed website, even if it has the right logo, that can be a giveaway.
What are we talking? Like inconsistent fonts?
Yeah, blurry images, broken links.
It's like they put all their energy into the homepage and then the contact us page is just a blurry photo of a cat.
Exactly. But seriously, another crucial step is to really scrutinize that URL.
Okay.
Look for those subtle misspellings, extra characters, anything that seems even slightly off.
And don't just rely on the link you clicked.
Right. Go directly to the retailer's official website,
Okay.
just to make sure that the deal is legitimate.
Yeah, so it's like taking that extra step and being like, is this for real?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say we do find ourselves on a website that seems a little iffy.
Yeah.
Is there a safest way to pay if we're feeling adventurous?
Always use a credit card. It offers much stronger fraud protection than a debit card.
So why is that?
Well, with a debit card, that money's gone instantly.
Right out of your account.
Exactly. A credit card gives you at least a layer of security.
Okay.
You can dispute the charges if something goes wrong.
That's a good reminder. I tend to just grab whichever card is closest.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely be thinking twice now.
Good.
Okay, so speaking of things that seem too good to be true,
Right.
let's talk about counterfeit goods.
Okay.
And this is both online and in those like shady looking stores
Mm-hmm.
we sometimes see pop up.
Mhm.
And the excerpts mentioned those deep discounts,
Yeah.
especially for luxury items.
It's tempting, right?
Oh, yeah, we've all seen those like designer handbags for $50.
Right?
We all know those are fake.
Yeah.
But what about the more convincing counterfeits?
Yeah.
How can we tell the difference?
It's getting harder for sure.
Yeah.
But one key difference is the attention to detail.
Okay.
Authentic luxury goods are meticulously crafted. So look closely at the stitching, the logos, the materials. Counterfeits often have flaws.
Like what?
Uneven, sketching a logo that's slightly off, or materials that just feel cheaper.
So they might look good from afar,
Right.
but up close you can really tell.
Exactly.
Okay, so if we're shopping online, are there ways to check if a seller is legit?
Yeah.
Like if they're an authorized reseller or just someone peddling fakes from their basement?
Most luxury brands list their authorized retailers on their websites.
Okay.
So if you don't see the seller listed, that's a red flag.
Okay.
And don't hesitate to contact the brand directly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're just as invested in fighting counterfeits as
Yeah.
you are in avoiding them.
That's a great tip. I would never have thought to do that.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
Okay, so we've talked about fake online stores.
Yeah.
Now, these excerpts also mention fake storefronts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking entire stores designed to trick us.
I know, it's like something out of a movie.
It really is.
But it's more common than you think.
So how do they even pull that off?
They often target locations with high foot traffic,
Okay.
like malls or busy shopping districts.
Makes sense.
They'll rent a space for a short period, set up some flashy displays,
Okay.
and offer incredibly good deals to lure people in.
And we just assume because it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck.
Right? But it might be a very convincing robot duck.
Robot duck. Okay, I love that.
But there are ways to spot these robot ducks.
Okay, how?
Pay close attention to the branding.
Okay.
Does it match the real brand perfectly?
Okay.
Is the signage professional?
Mm-hmm.
Are the employees knowledgeable about the products?
Okay.
If something feels off, trust your gut.
Yeah, we tend to ignore those little gut feelings.
Wow.
But maybe they're trying to tell us something important.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, good to know.
And here's another tip. A legitimate business is happy to outline their return policies.
Right.
If a seller is evasive about returns,
Oh, that's suspicious.
huge warning sign. They don't want you coming back once you realize you've been duped.
Right, right. Okay, so we've talked about fake online stores.
Yes.
And these sneaky physical storefronts.
Right.
Let's move on to a specific type of scam that targets
Okay.
those of us with expensive taste.
Ooh, tell me more.
Luxury shoppers.
Oh, yeah.
So luxury scams are all about exploiting our aspirations.
For sure.
Like we want that designer handbag or
Right.
that, fancy watch.
Exactly.
And the scammers, they dangle that promise
Yes.
of owning a piece of that coveted brand
Mhm.
at a fraction of the price.
It's so tempting.
And they know that people are willing to take risks when
Yeah.
it comes to scoring a deal on something like that.
For sure.
So say I'm looking for a designer handbag online.
Okay.
What are some things that should make me hit the brakes
Okay.
and be like, wait a minute?
First, look at the price.
Okay.
Luxury items hold their value.
Right.
So if a deal seems unbelievably good, it probably is. And remember, genuine sellers are proud of their products.
Mm-hmm.
Their descriptions will be detailed,
Okay.
highlighting the craftsmanship and the materials.
Okay.
If the description is vague or avoids specifics.
So it's like they're trying to hide something.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another thing to check is the seller's contact information.
Okay.
A legitimate luxury retailer will have a clear point of contact,
Okay.
a physical address, maybe even a phone number.
Oh,
If they're only reachable through a generic email address,
that's shady.
that's a red flag.
Red flag. Okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm shopping in person
Yeah.
for a high-end item, what should I be on the lookout for?
Look for inconsistencies.
Like what?
Compare the item to photos of the genuine article on the brand's website.
Okay.
Pay attention to the packaging, the tags, any accompanying documentation.
Mm-hmm.
High-end brands are meticulous about these details.
Right.
If something seems off even slightly,
Okay.
it's a sign to walk away.
So it's like playing detective. Looking for those little clues to expose the fake.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered fake online stores,
Mm-hmm.
those pop-up shops, and the tricks they use
Right.
to target luxury shoppers.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something that's incredibly common, especially around the holidays.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Gift card scams.
Yeah.
So these scams, they're tricky because they exploit our generosity.
Absolutely.
We want to give thoughtful gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Gift cards seem like the perfect solution.
Right. Easy peasy.
Yeah, and scammers know this, and they use it to their advantage.
Big time.
I've definitely seen those free gift card offers
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
popping up everywhere. What are some of the ways that scammers hook victims with these offers?
One common tactic is phishing.
Okay.
They'll send emails or texts that look like they're from a legitimate retailer,
Okay.
offering free gift cards or unbelievable discounts.
Right.
But the links in these messages
Yeah.
lead to fake websites designed to steal your personal information.
So how can we tell if a gift card offer is genuine
Okay.
or a scam in disguise?
First, never click on links in unsolicited emails or texts.
Okay.
Go directly to the retailer's website to verify the offer.
So cut out the middleman?
Exactly. If it's a legitimate promotion, you'll find it there.
Okay.
Another red flag is if the offer requires you to provide personal information,
Okay.
like your social security number or bank account details,
Right.
to claim your gift card.
Gotcha.
No legitimate business will ask for that kind of information for a gift card promotion.
That's good advice. It seems like scammers are getting more and more sophisticated.
Oh, yeah.
in their attempts to trick us. What about gift cards purchased in stores?
Uh, uh,
Are there any risks there?
yes, unfortunately there are.
Really?
Scammers sometimes tamper with gift cards in stores,
Okay.
scratching off the protective coating to reveal the PIN,
Oh,
or
wow.
using skimming devices to steal the card information.
Okay.
Then they wait for someone to buy the card, activate it, and load it with money.
So they're being really patient.
Yes,
Wow.
and once that happens, they can drain the funds before the recipient even knows they have a gift card.
So basically, someone could buy a gift card thinking they're giving a thoughtful present,
Right.
and the recipient ends up with a worthless piece of plastic.
Exactly. It's awful.
That's terrifying. It seems like nowhere is safe.
I know, it's tough out there.
So what can we do to protect ourselves when buying gift cards in stores?
Always inspect the card carefully before you buy it.
Okay.
Make sure the packaging is intact and that the PIN is hidden behind a protective coating.
Okay.
Avoid buying cards that are displayed in high-traffic areas, as these are more likely to have been tampered with.
Okay.
And if you notice anything suspicious, like a card that's been scratched or damaged, alert a store employee.
Good advice. And is it true that paying with a credit card is safer than using cash for gift card purchases?
Absolutely. If you use a credit card and the gift card turns out to be fraudulent, you have a much better chance of getting your money back.
Oh.
With cash, there's no way to trace the transaction or recover your funds.
So many things to keep in mind.
I know.
It's almost like we need a detective's toolkit to navigate the world of shopping safely.
Right.
We've covered a lot of ground here in part 1 of our deep dive into big store and location fraud.
We've only just scratched the surface.
Wow, right?
But remember, the more we know about the tactics scammers use, the better equipped we are to protect ourselves and avoid becoming victims.
Absolutely. And we'll be back with part 2, where we'll delve into even more examples of big store and location fraud
Yes.
and share even more practical tips on how to stay one step ahead of these clever criminals.
Looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is fascinating and scary all at the same time.
It is a wild world out there.
It really is. Okay, so stay tuned for part 2.
Welcome back. We're continuing our deep dive into the tricky world of big store and location fraud. It's incredible how these scammers can just blend right into the background.
Yeah, they're like chameleons. They make it all seem so normal. We were talking about those fake storefronts before. I'm still baffled by how they can create an entire store,
I know.
like a pop-up shop, just to vanish into thin air.
It's all about timing and targeting.
Oh, really?
They'll often pop up during peak shopping seasons, like back to school or the holidays, when people are, looking for deals,
Right.
maybe not being as cautious.
And they might even target specific events, like
Yeah.
a big concert or a sporting event.
Right, where people are already in a spending mood.
Right. And they're not thinking critically.
Exactly.
So they're playing on our emotions, our excitement, our eagerness to snag a bargain
Completely.
to distract us from those red flags.
It's like they're hypnotists.
They really are. So aside from the obvious things like, the sketchy branding,
Yeah.
the dodgy return policies,
Yeah.
what are some other signs that we might be dealing with a fake storefront?
One thing to look out for is the staff.
Okay.
Are they knowledgeable about the products they're selling?
Right. Do they actually know what they're talking about?
Right. Or do they seem evasive or unsure when you ask questions?
Right.
Do they seem genuinely interested in helping you find the right product?
Okay.
Or are they just trying to push you into a sale?
It's like if they don't even know what they're selling, that's a pretty big clue.
Totally. And how about their demeanor? Are they super pushy or aggressive?
Yeah, that would definitely make me suspicious.
Right. A legitimate business wants to build a relationship with their customers,
Yeah.
not just make a quick buck.
Makes sense.
They'll have well-trained staff who are patient, helpful, and genuinely interested in providing good customer service.
So it's all about that gut feeling, isn't it?
Yep.
If something feels off, if you get those little warning bells,
Trust your instincts.
trust your instincts and walk away.
Exactly. Don't let anyone pressure you into making a purchase you're not comfortable with.
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly.
Now, shifting gears a bit, the sources also talked about luxury scams.
Oh, yes.
Those that are targeting shoppers
Mm-hmm.
who are looking for high-end brands, exclusive items. It seems like those folks might be even more vulnerable
Yeah.
because they're so focused on getting a good deal
Yeah.
on that coveted item.
Yeah, the allure of luxury is powerful, and scammers know how to exploit that.
Right?
They'll create elaborate fakes, set up phony websites that look incredibly authentic.
Wow.
Even go so far as to create fake social media accounts to build credibility.
So they're really going all out.
Oh, yeah. They're putting in the effort.
To lure in victims, I can see how people would fall for that, especially if they're not super familiar with a specific brand or product.
Yeah.
So if we're shopping for luxury goods online, what are some telltale signs that we should be wary of?
Okay, well, the biggest red flag is always the price.
Okay.
If a luxury item is being sold for a fraction of its retail value,
Like way too cheap.
way too cheap, that's a major warning sign.
Okay.
Legitimate retailers rarely offer deep discounts on high-end merchandise,
Okay.
especially if it's a popular or in-demand item.
It's like that old saying, you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
If you're paying pennies on the dollar, chances are you're not getting the real deal.
Right.
Okay, another thing to look out for, the sources mentioned, is the seller's reputation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do they have a proven track record
Yeah.
of positive reviews, satisfied customers?
Exactly. Or are there complaints about counterfeit goods, poor customer service,
Okay.
undelivered orders?
So take the time to do your research
Yes,
before you commit to a purchase.
absolutely. It can save you a lot of heartache and money in the long run.
Okay. The sources also mentioned paying attention to the details when examining luxury goods.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the details.
What are some specific things we should be looking for to spot a fake?
You want to be a detective here.
Okay.
Look for inconsistencies in the brand, the packaging, or the product itself.
Okay.
For example, check the stitching, the logos, the materials, the overall craftsmanship.
Okay.
Counterfeiters are getting better at replicating the look of luxury goods,
Yeah, they're getting good.
but they often cut corners when it comes to quality and attention to detail.
So if the stitching looks wonky, the logo is slightly off the way, the material feels cheap.
Those are all signs that you should be suspicious.
Okay, it's like if you're paying a premium price, you expect premium quality.
Exactly.
Okay, another thing to check the sources mentioned is the packaging.
Yeah.
Any accompanying documentation, like
Yeah.
authenticity cards, care instructions.
But high-end brands are meticulous about these details.
Right.
So if something seems off even slightly,
Okay.
it's a sign to walk away.
Okay, so let's say we're not shopping online, but we're actually browsing in a physical store
Okay.
that sells luxury goods. What should we be on the lookout for in that scenario?
The same principles apply. Pay attention to the store's overall vibe. Does it feel upscale and professional,
Oh,
or does something seem off?
okay.
Notice how the staff interacts with customers.
Mm-hmm.
Are they knowledgeable about the products? Are they helpful and attentive? Or do they seem pushy or evasive?
And always trust your gut. If something feels wrong, don't be afraid to walk away, even if you're tempted by a seemingly amazing deal.
Exactly. It's better to miss out on a potential bargain than to end up with a counterfeit item.
Right.
Or worse, become a victim of fraud.
Okay, speaking of things that seem too good to be true,
Oh, here we go again.
let's dive into a scam that's particularly prevalent during the holidays.
I know what's coming.
Gift card scams.
Ugh, yes.
These scams, they prey on our generosity, our desire to give thoughtful gifts
They really do.
to our loved ones.
It's the worst time of year for it.
It is. Gift card scams are incredibly common, and they can be very difficult to detect.
Yeah,
Scammers have become quite sophisticated in their methods,
they really have.
using everything from phishing emails to tampered cards in stores to steal your money.
It's like they're trying to steal the joy out of gift giving.
They really are. We talked about those fake free gift card offers online.
Yes.
What about gift cards that we buy in physical stores? Are there any risks there?
Yes. Unfortunately, there are scammers sometimes tamper with gift cards in stores.
Okay, in stores, really?
Yeah. Scratching off that protective coating to reveal the PI,
Okay.
or using skimming devices to steal the card information.
Wow.
Then they wait for someone to buy the card, activate it, load it with money.
Okay.
And once that happens, they can drain the funds before the recipient even knows they have a gift card.
So basically, someone could buy a gift card thinking they're giving a thoughtful present,
Right.
and the recipient ends up with a worthless piece of plastic.
Exactly.
It's awful. That's awful. So what can we do to protect ourselves from these Grinch-like scammers?
Right. Okay, so always inspect the card carefully before you buy it.
Okay.
Make sure the packaging is intact and that the PI is hidden behind a protective coating.
Okay.
Also, avoid buying cards that are displayed in high-traffic areas, as these are more likely to have been tampered with.
Okay.
And if you notice anything suspicious, like a card that's been scratched or damaged, alert a store employee.
Those are some great tips. It's almost like we need to become gift card detective.
I know, right?
Carefully examining each card before we buy it. Is there anything else we can do to minimize the risk?
Yes. When possible, choose to buy gift cards from behind the counter,
Okay.
where they're less likely to have been tampered with.
Makes sense.
And if you're buying multiple gift cards, consider purchasing them online directly from the retailer.
Okay.
That way you can be sure they're legitimate and haven't been tampered with.
Those are some really helpful tips. It seems like scammers are lurking everywhere these days,
They are.
trying to take advantage of our generosity and desire to give thoughtful gifts.
I know, but by being aware of the risks and taking simple precautions,
Right.
we can protect ourselves and our loved ones from becoming victims of these scams.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here in part 2 of our deep dive into big store and location fraud.
We have.
We've learned about fake storefronts, luxury scams, and the sneaky tactics scammers use to target gift card buyers.
It's a lot to take in.
It is stay tuned for part 3, where we'll explore even more ways to protect ourselves and stay one step ahead of these clever criminals. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into big store and location fraud. And wow, we've uncovered some pretty sneaky tactics.
We have, haven't we?
From those chameleon-like storefronts to those Grinch-like gift card scammers.
What's a jungle out there?
It's enough to make you want to just stay home and shop in your pajamas.
Yeah, I hear you.
But you know, we can't let the scammers win, right?
Absolutely not. The good news is knowledge is power.
So true. The more we understand their tricks,
Right.
the better we can protect ourselves.
Exactly.
So let's shift gears a bit and talk about some practical tips
Okay.
we can use to avoid becoming victims of big store and location fraud.
Sounds good.
So what's the first line of defense?
Well, one of the most important things you can do is to cultivate a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay, skepticism, so like questioning everything.
Pretty much, if something sounds too good to be true,
Right.
whether it's an unbelievably low price, a free gift card offer, an amazing deal that's only available for a limited time,
Yeah. Right, all those classic tricks.
take a step back and question it.
So it's like that little voice in your head that says, this seems a bit fishy.
Exactly. Listen to that voice.
Don't ignore it.
Don't let your excitement or your eagerness to snag a bargain cloud your judgment.
Easier said than done.
I know. But remember, scammers are masters of manipulation.
Right.
They know how to play on our emotions and exploit our vulnerabilities.
So it's like a mental game of chess.
Yeah.
And we need to be thinking a few moves ahead.
Exactly. What else can we do?
What else?
Another crucial step is to do your research.
Oh, research. Okay.
Before you make a purchase, whether it's online or in person,
Okay.
take the time to verify the legitimacy of the seller.
So if it's an online store, what are we looking for?
Check their website carefully. Look for contact information,
Okay.
a physical address, a phone number,
Mm-hmm.
a professional email address. Avoid sellers who only communicate through generic email addresses or social media platforms.
So if they're trying to hide something that's a red flag.
Absolutely. And don't just rely on the information on their website.
Right, go deeper.
Do a little digging, search for reviews and complaints from other customers.
Okay.
See if there are any red flags or patterns that emerge.
So it's like being a detective gathering evidence
Yeah,
to determine if the seller is legit.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What about if we're shopping in person?
Yeah, what are some things we can do to verify the legitimacy of a physical store?
Pay close attention to the store's branding and overall vibe.
Okay.
Does it feel professional and well-established,
Mm-hmm.
or does something seem off?
Okay.
Look at the signage that displays the quality of the merchandise.
Okay.
Are they consistent with the brand they claim to represent?
Right, are they cutting corners?
Exactly. And how about the staff?
Yeah, are they actually knowledgeable?
Are they helpful and attentive,
Mhm.
or do they seem pushy, evasive, or unsure themselves?
Yeah, like they don't really know what they're talking about.
Right. And don't hesitate to ask questions.
Okay.
A legitimate business will be happy to answer your questions and address your concerns.
Makes sense.
If a salesperson seems hesitant or evasive, that's a red flag.
Red flag. Okay, noted. So it's almost like we need to channel our inner Sherlock Holmes
Right.
when we're shopping these days. What about payment methods?
Oh, good point. When shopping online, always use secure payment methods like credit cards or PayPal.
Okay, so those offer better fraud protection.
Yeah, if something goes wrong, you're more likely to get your money back.
That's a good reminder. I tend to just use whichever card is closest.
Yeah, I know it's easy to do.
But I'll definitely be thinking twice now.
Good. And be wary of sellers who ask for payment in unusual ways like wire transfers or gift cards.
Oh, right. Yeah, those are suspicious.
Those are often red flags.
Red flags. Okay, so we've talked about being skeptical, doing our research, using secure payment methods. Any other tips to help us navigate the world of shopping safely?
Yes. One of the most important things is to trust your gut instincts.
Trust your gut. Okay.
If something feels off, even if you can't quite put your finger on why,
Yeah.
it's best to walk away.
Walk away. Okay.
Don't let anyone pressure you, into making a purchase you're not comfortable with.
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. It's better to miss out on a potential bargain than to become a victim of fraud.
So true, but what if, despite our best efforts,
Yeah.
we think we might have fallen victim to big store and location fraud? What should we do?
Okay, first things first, contact your bank or credit card company
Okay.
and report the fraudulent activity.
Right.
They can help you dispute the charges and potentially recover your funds.
Okay. And should we report it to the authorities as well?
Absolutely. Contact your local police department or the Federal Trade Commission
Okay, the FTC.
and provide them with as much information as possible about the scam.
Okay.
This will help them track down the perpetrators and potentially prevent others from becoming victims.
Right. And if the scam involved a specific retailer, it's probably worth contacting the company directly.
Good point. A lot of companies have dedicated teams that investigate fraud and counterfeit activity.
Okay.
By reporting the scam, you're not only protecting yourself,
Right.
but you're also helping the company protect its reputation and its customers.
So it's like a win-win.
Exactly.
So the key takeaway here is that while big store and location fraud is a real and growing threat, we're not powerless against it.
We are not.
By being informed, being vigilant,
Right.
taking simple precautions,
Absolutely.
we can significantly reduce our risk of becoming victims.
You said it.
So knowledge is power.
It really is.
And by sharing this information with each other, we can create a safer, a more secure marketplace for everyone.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of big store and location fraud.
Wow, that was a lot.
It was. I hope everyone listening found this information helpful and empowering.
Me too. Remember, the best defense against scams is awareness.
Stay informed
And frames
and trust your gut.
Absolutely. And if you encounter a scam, don't hesitate to report it to the authorities and help spread the word.
Yes, spread the word. Help each other out. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.